Hello everyone, piercenation here. Welcome back to a new deck profile. Today I'm bringing you my Blue Eyes White Dragon deck profile. This is not a pure version, so if you're here for the pure version or for budget, this is not budget, but it is not finished either. So what is not in the deck is half of the primite engine. I'm borrowing the primite engine right now. I currently don't own it, so it will not be in this deck profile. Also, I'm missing Purge, Dominus Purge. I'd like Dominus Purge to be in this deck by the end of it, but from here on out, I think we're going to focus on this one deck. Not really focus too much on the others. I'll build like the other decks that I've already built already, but like I don't think I'm going to build anything past this, because this is my bread and butter, and my bread and butter is now viable to more than just itself. If the primite engine gets hit, or any other engine that you throw in this deck gets hit, it doesn't bother the deck, because the deck is now viable and will continue to be viable and can be used however the hell you want. So without further ado, we'll get into the deck profile. You're going over a deck profile with somebody who has been on this deck since day one. So I know this deck very, very well, and I know what to play in it and what not to play. So first of all, we're going to start with 2 copies of Blue Eyes White Dragon. I think this is pretty non-negotiable, because I had pros coming on my doors asking me how many you play, because they'd heard it was somewhere between 1 and 3. I told them 2 is a pretty good sweet spot, and then 1 Jet Dragon. So you'll notice some professionals are going to start playing Jet Dragon. It's because they have come to me and asked me about it. Jet Dragon is ultimately a better card than half the shit you can throw in it. It's the best. It is the best Blue Eyes effect monster in the main deck. That it goes without saying. Like, this is what I think Konami wanted Solid Dragon to be, but it just couldn't be because they didn't have these type of effects back then. And Jet Dragon has an effect like the Gabrunix, to where he was the first of his kind to have that effect, and he's just really good because of that. So why do we play Jet Dragon? That's the main question I keep getting asked. Number 1, it's field protection. So anything else on field, if they try to destroy it, it will not be destroyed, because Jet Dragon says that ain't gonna fucking happen. But next of all, he himself can out-tempi monsters, and he can out-detonator by himself. So let's say Jet Dragon's in graveyard. You pop a card on my board. Let's say you run through something. Like you're gonna swing over. You're gonna detach to save your detonator. My card's destroyed. Jet Dragon activates. This is in damage step. Detonator can't do anything to it. Jet Dragon comes back. And then if I go my turn, I go damage step. I can just automatically go to battle phase, swing into detonator, go Jet Dragon effect, return the detonator. Detonator can't activate because it's a damage step. So that's what's awesome about Jet Dragon, that detonator cannot interact with him. So yeah, play those 3. You can't go wrong as long as you're playing those 3. Next of all, 3 Maiden of White. This is like the most broken card in the fucking deck. Yes, I'm far away, so I will explain the card. I will explain what it does. I'll explain why we're playing it. This will be a long deck profile. Bear with me. If those of you who are just looking for the deck list, I wouldn't blame you for skimming, but if you watch the video, it helps me out in the algorithm. But you can send this card from hand or field to graveyard. Set 1 True Light from hand, deck, or graveyard. Face up in your spell and trap zone. She has a second effect, which comes up every game, to where if you summon Blue Eyes White Dragon, she can special summon herself out of the grave. And then if she's third effect, if she's targeted by a card effect or by an attack, she can quick effect special summon Blue Eyes White Dragon specifically, or a level 1 light tuner. So 3 Maiden of White. She is the best starter in this deck. hands down. There's no card better than her. The only one you could argue that could be somewhere close is Sage. Besides the blue. Sometime this weekend, while we're in this video, I'm going to put out a very in-depth spreadsheet showing you how to play through hand traps, showing you how to make your lines in this deck. This deck specifically, this deck is different. This is different than every Blue Eyes list you've seen. Every Blue Eyes list you've seen is a pure Primite Blue Eyes. You say Primite's not pure, it's about as pure as you can get, dude. I mean, it just synergizes with normal monsters so well, and you can't tell me it's not. Anyway, we all know Sage. If you don't know Sage, come on, sit down. I'll explain you how this card works. Not once per turn. On the first effect, where if you normal it, you can add a level 1 Light Tuner. Yes, that does include effect failure. But then it has the secondary effect. The secondary effect will win you games, and that's how you get up Jet Dragon, by the way. That's one of the ways you can do it. There's two ways. There's also a third you can do, but we're going to get into that later on a budget build. But you can go Sage effect. With his second effect, you can target an effect monster, send him and it. Typically, you do Maiden of White, so you go Sage effect, send, target, quick effect, special this back. This gets sent, and your Jet Dragon will come out. And then you can make a Synchro 9, and you've already got him in rotation. That's how you do that, by the way. Okay, so if you did not know how that interaction works, that's exactly how it works, because it sends per cost. It's cost to send itself, and it's cost to target. It's just fascinating. So, 3 of these, can't go wrong. Again, the first effect's not once per turn. That's broken as shit. Like I said, you have to know these cards. Yes, I don't have them in the highest rarity anymore because I lost mine due to where I was living was not very good at the time, but we're better now. Then, for the Primite stuff, what I have, and what I'm going to play until I get them financed, because don't break the bank on this shit. 1 Nether Barrel, because I'm gonna play this for the long run, so I'm just gonna build the deck. I don't really care. 3 Roar, 1 Drill Beam. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of explain why the ratios are like this, why I'm playing it like this. Okay, first I don't have the other 2 barrels, and I don't have load. Okay, I borrow them off a buddy. So when I don't have them and I go to play locals, I have to play it like this. Okay, so second of all, if you have barrel in hand, you just win, because it's gonna, in this deck it just sets Drill Beam and then becomes little Link 1. Like, that's how broken barrel is. And you play Roar because literally you slide these out game 3. Or, game 2 if you're already winning. And, game 1's long, you're afraid to go in the time. Slide these out. These automatically pay 200 or 2,000, and we don't want to, pay life points that we don't have to pay. So these normally get sided out game 2 and 3. Not all the time, though. I will say, if I feel like I can grind game 3, I'm going to leave these in. Because I will do a shit ton of damage. But yeah, you play Roar. It's not once per turn, so if they ash it, you can literally just activate another one, and it will resolve. You can only do it up to the number of white dragons you have in graveyard. So just keep that in mind as well. Well, in deck. Not graveyard, in deck. So just keep that in mind as you're doing your combos. But it's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. Nothing difficult. And then here's the part where everybody starts to fray from me. Because I do play double engraver, 1 lacrima, 1 lurry, and 1 track. Okay, so allow me to explain why this deck is broken. So this deck's broken because of the interaction you have with Fabled Lurry. If you draw a Fabled Lurry, it's like the best thing in the world for you to do, because you automatically get free value, which I'll show you at the end of this video, off of wishes. it's just free. Everything's free in this deck. But you gotta know, everything's free. But we do play the Fabled Lurry. We play the fiendsmith engine. I want to play a third engraver. All I gotta do is buy one. Because I have slowly invested into this deck, and I'm going to fully invest into it. I mean, fully, like, we're going to max rarity this thing. As you see, I had the Blue Eyes White Dragons. I don't know if I'm going to, like, play other ones. There's the Takahashi version that I really like. I really like that one. But I don't know. Just for, like overall looks, I think this one looks the best. Because, again, it's a QCR. I love QCRs. And it's the fucking OG copy. So, it's pretty good. I got it. But then other than that, we are playing a lot of non-engine. You're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! In 2025. So that's specifically what this game is. So, 3 Ash Blossoms, Joyous Spring. 3 Effect Veiler. 3 Ghost Spell. Double Nip. So, you double nip, you don't never want to see 3 of it. These two, if you double fist them, there's whatever. They're good in every case, and they're good against every deck right now. Like if you face Blue Eyes in the mirror, and they go summon Blue Eyes, Maiden Effect, you can bell it. If they go Wishes, you can Ash it. If they go Roar, you can Ash it. If they go Sage with Eyes of Blue, if they go Link 1, you can Ash it. You can also bell the Link 1 too, which thumbs up, because that's 90% of the time, that's how that works. But some people want to bell the Maiden, because if you bell the Link 1 and they have a way to extend it to Blue Eyes, they make the synchro anyway. So we'll go over that later. These are things that people's not going to tell you, and they're not going to explain to you in a deck profile. But here with me comes, it should be Saturday. It'll be like Saturday night for you all, but I'll be putting out the full spreadsheet for this shit, and it is a lot of shit. There's a lot of information. The spreadsheet will change once I get more and more cards to be able to manifest this, but yeah, does a lot. So then we go for more engine, which is 3 Wishes, 1 Roar, 1 Mausoleum of White, and 1 1-for-1. So, 1-for-1 comes up in this deck because you can literally just put someone in the Maiden, send her south from the field, set True Light, and it doesn't like bother your combo at all. It just helps you more than anything. We aren't playing Bingo Machine Go because we are trying to not play in the drill. If so, we could Bingo Machine Go for Wishes. Pretty easy. Pretty self-explanatory. You can plan, whatever. We don't want to get hit by drill. However, if you Bingo Machine Go for Wishes and they drill you, you're kind of fucked. Because you can't really do anything. But if you Bingo Machine, or if you, I believe it's Perry's map, which is, add 1, then pay half. You can add Maiden, and if they decide that they are going to draw you there, that doesn't really hurt, because you can go Maiden for it's over here, sorry. True Light for Roar, Roar for Blue Eyes, Maiden to summon. And if you have any like normal summon, level 1 tuner, you can turn it into the Link 1, and you can get the Mausoleum. You can go Mausoleum target, and then if you have like a light tuner grave, you can quick effect, supposed to summon it back, and you just do all this. It's all free. Yeah, like you can do a lot. Some people say like draw is like the #1 thing that kills this deck. I think why people are still thinking about it, I think we don't play cards like that. But there may be to a point to where I say fuck it and we swing for the fence. And Bingo Machine Go is a good way to swing for the fence. It just depends on how this deck goes. So you play those just like that. One roar. You could, if you're playing it pure, you could say two. But if you're playing it like this, we have very small space in this deck. This deck can run up to 45 to 15 non-engine. So it's very, very, very tight. For traps, True Light, and Your Majesty of the White Dragons. This is just a pop. You can reveal up to how many blue eyes from hand or field and destroy that many cards. Kind of cool. I think it's Handfield Grave. It is. Handfield Grave. You play two, so typically you get, it's a pop one, but if you get the second one, you get another one. But it has to be equal. So if if it doesn't target, but if the number goes down, this card won't resolve. So you need to realize that, because it says pop equal. So if I reveal two and they go down to one card, with some effects, this card won't resolve. Doesn't happen very often. I'm just letting you know that's how it works. It works just like Droplet. 3 Imperm. Pretty simple. That's your 12 non-engine. Not including, all the engine disruptions. So before we go any further, we're going to get into the extra deck. Before we get into the sideboard. Sideboard's spicy. I'll explain sideboard in a minute. Type of token. First of all, gotta be that guy. We started this channel based off this deck, so I'll get it to you. 2 Spirit, Eyes Blue, most broken Link 1, probably in the game. Not as broken as they've been in the past, but it's still pretty broken because it has 2 really relevant effects. What the downside of this card is it locks you in the dragons while it's on field. So there are some plays that seem restrictive, but if you realize how to play through this card, it's really simple. It just takes a little time and little navigations, and you'll figure out how to do this. On summon, it does add the Mausoleum of White, which helps out immensely. I have told Blue Eyes players for years that Mausoleum of White is like the best card in our fucking deck, and to no avail, no one listened, and here's a card that searches it. Funny enough, huh? Like, oh no, they'd have to print a better card. Nope, they don't, because it does everything the deck wants to do. All you need is this card to bridge it. It's really all you needed. Because I used to play 3 Mausoleum of White just so I can get the additional normal summons to make the synchros, or make like a spirit and a disease monster, which is what I used to do back then. Anyway, I need to go over the second effect. You tribute this card, special Blue Eyes monster from hand or grave. I'm not just White Dragon, so this card's kind of good. Heretic Seal, the Heavenly Spears. Flying Dragons, you're gonna play this card. You will make this card. Not like an extreme amount, but you will make this card. Fiendsmith, play 1 Requiem. You don't have to play sequence. It's not necessary. 1 Typhon, 1 Wave High King Caesar. So this card, the reason you play Fiendsmith in this deck, and I will explain why you're playing Fiendsmith and you're cutting down the non-engine, is because 1, Fiendsmith can pile drive straight through a board going second. Very easily, too. Second of all, Wave High checks Bestials and Nibiru. So, you're going to do your Fiendsmith stuff first. And if they start hitting that with Bestials, your Blue Eyes plays go off phenomenal. And there's not really anything they can do to stop it. On top of that, you're playing Necroquip, and you'll play Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon and Blue Eyes Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. So, you don't summon this, you summon this. That makes sense? Not this, this. So, you're going to equip this to Blue Eyes, and typically it's just a negate and destroy if they try to target spirit. I try to proc his effects early. But it's also, when it's equipped, you can send Blue Eyes and it to summon Tyrant. Tyrant can swing at all monsters your opponent controls once each. and then at the end of damage step, it does activate, which is still damage step, to set a trap. I don't know if you know this, but it can set any of these. Any of them. It doesn't matter. It's just a trap. Targets the trap, sets it. Can only do it once a turn, though. This card's super good, plus it's immune to trap effects. So if you throw something up like Skill Drain, this thing is not affected by it at all. So, it's fascinating. Yeah, that's all the fusion links and Xyz monsters. All we got left is the synchros. I'll start back to front on this. We'll do 2 spirit dragons. You're gonna do these, obviously. Spirit dragons is just phenomenal. 1's incorrect. 2 and 3 I think are more correct. I don't think there's a correct answer there. I think 3 might be a bit too much, but if you're playing pure, sure, 3. Yeah, 3. I wouldn't say no. And I wouldn't say the same for Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon either. I would say if you're going to play pure, and pure, you're not really going to make any ultimate dragons, realistically. But if you were to play one, you would play the alternative ultimate, because it does just grant a free pop. It's 4,500. Can't be targeted. It's really hard to get through. Can't be destroyed by card effects either, which is fucking crazy. But also, you play Twin Burst, because Twin Burst is like, if they make Chaos Angel and it's like, oh, can't be destroyed by battle, that's fine. You swing Tyrant in, you take the damage, and you banish that bitch. That's how that works. Also, Tyrant can be destroyed by battle, so you don't have to worry about that shit either. That card's fucking ridiculous. Lightstorm Dragon. I cut this originally, put it back in. I cut Sequence and I cut Desiree, because Lightstorm is just better of a card than Desiree. In this deck, at least. In this deck it is. Because you can, if you get 2 Blue Eyes in Grave, this thing only checks Grave. It pops spells and traps up to the number of normal monsters in your graveyard, +1. So if you have 1, it'll pop 2. If you have 2, it'll pop 3. If you have none, it'll pop 1. Best way to tell you about that. If they destroy this card by battle or card effect, or you swing in and it dies, because let's say all you have is really that line, this thing dies, can reset your wishes, and then you can just activate wishes. Now, to get this to work, you have to have a normal monster to be able to activate it. So it's gonna be so hard for you to get Blue Eyes back on the board. But yeah, that's how you do it. So like, if you have like Veiler or anything, you normal Veiler, you summon Link 1, you go Link 1 effect, you bring back the Blue Eyes. Maiden doesn't trigger because she's already used her effect, and then you can activate wishes. So pretty cool. So run those 3 again. That are engine requirements. Ultimate Dragon, Blazar, and Crimson Dragon. Okay, so the best case scenario is you get these 2 on the board at the same time. If they're on the board at the same time, you basically won the game, because this keeps your shit from being banished from your grave. This is just an Omni Negate. It's going to keep floating. So the spirit effects are not going to take place on the Blazar. The Blazar is just going to keep floating. This will get popped, and then this is going to bring this back in the end phase. And you're going to draw. Blazar comes back, and you do have white enough. You just need 1 more monster to swing for game. Don't get greedy. There's no need to go full crazy on that shit. That's why I said you really only need 2 spirits, because on the follow-up you're going to make Lightstorm, you're going to clear what back row's left, and you're going to swing for game. That is the general consensus of this deck, is don't get greedy. If you're making 2 of these, you better have this. If not, you need to stick to 1, see if they nib you, and if they do, make another. That is the best way to play this deck. Don't get greedy. Just be smart enough to outsmart your opponent. So, yep. That's the entire extra deck. We'll get into the sideboard. So we'll go over all this in the spreadsheet, and we'll get everything available to you. If I do get a lot of the cards before we do the spreadsheet, it'll be better. But I can still give you an idea in case if you have these cards, or if this is a start you want to portray going for the future. So let's start here. I think it's probably the best place I could start it. So, like every modern Yu-Gi-Oh deck, we are playing Solemn Judgment. So, people are contraring between Solemn Judgment and Solemn Strike. I think I don't have them in here yet, because I'm definitely gonna upgrade these. I've had these forever. As you can see, these are old as shit. But Solemn Judgment over Strike for me. Reason B, this can negate a summon. This can negate a spell or trap card. This card overall is just better of a card, and it pays half. It doesn't pay specifically 1,500. Which is good, because if they go make Detonator, you Judgment the summon, they don't get it. So I think Judgment over Strike, but I'd probably play 3 Judgment, 3 Strike, or at least 2 Strike in this. I've got the open slot for it, but that's it. You're playing modern Yu-Gi-Oh, you gotta have Lancia. We don't want Malice, Crystron, to even like remotely play the game. So you're gonna put in Lancias, and you're gonna Lancia your way to victory. I think this is the best way to go about it. And then 2 Ogres, that's the flex spot. Strikes. Currently, that's how I'm gonna play it. Like I said, this whole deck depends on ban list. If we get hit with a ban list, fiendsmith gets hit, this whole deck changes. Because it'll have to. I will have to personally change it. I do believe this is like one of the best ways to run this deck if you're going to run it. So next we'll talk about Thrust. So why is Thrust in this deck? Why is it in the sideboard? Thrust is just an unfair card, I'll tell you that. It is as unfair as Talents, and it needs limited in more ways than one. But the reason that it's in this deck is there are specifically 4 side deck targets that it will search. Number 1 is D-Bearer. If you face Ryzil or Crystron or any of those type of decks, we're going to go for D-Bearer. If you're facing Malice, you're going to go for Sanctum. If they draw you. They draw you, they ash you, they bell you, they bestial you, you're going to go for these cards. These will shut them out. And if Malice is vanishing from your graveyard, that means that they either have 1 on their turn, or they have some sort of combo, and if they're hitting from your graveyard and they don't have combo, that's just fucking bad. And then the last 2 that we are running is Ultimate Slayer, because obviously you got to get this card off. It's like one of the best cards in the deck. You can send Typhon to out the Detonator, which is pretty cool. It's not a good interaction by no means, but it's just cool. And then you can run Bloodstream of Destruction. This is the most underrated card. No one's running it. No one's side decking it. I've watched all these people like, oh, I blew fucking $4,000 on this deck. No one is playing this card. That doesn't make any sense to me. It is so accessible. You make Link 1 effect. I'll show you how easy this is. You send, you banish, you add. You don't even have to thrust for it. It's just in your engine that allows you to do that. Then people say, oh well, I don't really know how you get the access to this. Like, I'm serious. I'm serious. Go ahead and throw that down too. Well, I got more than that. I don't know. See this giant stack of cards here? These all, in some way, shape, or form, will get access to Blue Eyes White Dragon. They all will. You have 3 maiden. She gets the True Light. True Light will get to Wishes. Wishes will get to Sage. And Roar. These both can get the Blue Eyes. What else can get to it? 1 for Maiden. What else can get to it? Primite Roar. Like, I mean, I don't understand. I just don't. And maybe I played this deck for too long, and I understand that. But you got to start playing these card guys. You have to. It's just a board wipe. It's easy too. You don't have to side it in. So, you know, if you do this, force Detonator to detach, and then you go with Blue Eyes and you swing into it, or you go like Twin Dragon if that's what you want to do, you'll get right through that goddamn thing. Easy. The funniest thing I found is you take out Duo Drive because Twin Burst gets 2 attacks. So you go Twin Burst and the Duo Drive. They're like a negated Duo Drive, so no, into the Duo Drive. Never mind. Yeah, because it has like I think it's 27 when it has 2 materials or some shit like that, and it drops Twin Burst for like 28. So you swing Twin Burst into Duo Drive. You kill the Duo Drive by 100. You then turn around, go Twin Burst 3K into 3K on the Detonator. The Detonator detaches. The Twin Burst activates in damage step and goes Banish. It's just funny because again the Twin Burst just auto outs the Detonator. That's another one you can do too. But we'll go over that later. Like I said, I'm too good with this deck. But yeah, play this card. Side it. Side deck this card. For the love of God, you don't have to main this. I actually thought about going second build and playing 3 of these fucking things. I have. I'd want to do it at some point. I think it would play like Bestials or something of that nature. That's my alarm's going off now. But yeah, do that. So, I did say at the end of this video, which we are at now, that I would show you the unfair combo that is Wishes plus Lurry. So that's something. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna check that out definitely, because that shouldn't be like that. So I'll leave my extract face up just for this video. So I'm gonna show you Lurry plus Wishes. I'm gonna show you what happens, and what you can do. So Lurry plus Wishes will put you on basically exactly everything you want and could ever need. So you don't need any other card. Just go Wishes, pitch. Does discard, by the way, which is the main reason why I'm showing you this combo. You are going to add. Depends on how you want to do it, but if, let's say for like Joel's sake, I go for Maiden, but like for just general consensus, I don't have any other thing to do. I go for this, and I'll go for Trap. This is generally what I do. So you go here, go to Grave, Lurry, comes back. Because it was discarded, go Lurry to Requiem effect. Lacrima, dump. Requiem to equip, send. For Necro, go Effective Engraver. Supposed to someone should shuffle back to Lurry. Go and top it. And you can go these two into high wave. Now, before you start any combo, if they have Bestials and they're unsaving for the Blue Eyes cards, they're not going to resolve, because literally we have everything in the world to keep them from resolving. Why do I have the fucking True Light? It's not supposed to be True Light. It's supposed to be the fucking Majesty. Because, let's say that, like I said, let's say that they don't draw. You normal. You go effect. You can get to Maiden. If they imperm this, it's no big deal. You can play around it easily. Not as easy, but like you do still get a pop and you get fucking high wave out of this. So then you go this for the True Light. Because you have this, you go True Light effect. You can set the Roar. You can. Before you activate Roar, I will say you are going to link this off for link one effect. You're going to get Mausoleum, go Mausoleum, target, you'll send the Blue Eyes, and then you'll go link one effect. This will summon the Blue Eyes. Maiden will come out. Don't go too overboard here. But you're going to activate this. You are then going to special summon out in defense mode your Jet Dragon. That's a pretty good spot to be in, all things considered. So then you can just go these two into the Spirit. So now you end on multiple layers of disruption. You can do more than that. You can banish wishes. You target this. You'll get out this. These two. Into that. Now they have more to deal with. So the pop's is free. The pop's free. If they go to battle, this will reset this or this. This is going to spin out to an Omni, plus it's a graveyard negate. You have the Jet Dragon, which will come into rotation whenever this pops something. You have a lot going on here. Like I said, it just does it all on its own, and it's pretty cool. But yeah, that's how you do the 2-card combo with Lurie. If I like Lurie enough, I will boost it up. It depends on if this card gets hit. If this card gets hit, we probably won't play the package. It depends on how bad they decide that they're going to hit it. If they hit Desiree or Sequence, I'm cool. I don't really care. Because that doesn't bother what I'm doing. Now, if they hit like Necroquip or something random like Requiem, I'm not going to play it. But, yep, that's all the time I have for this video. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. I will get back to you. Make sure if you're new, you like, subscribe, and comment down below. I am piercenation, and we will see you in the next video. piercenation, out.